Hey everybody, final thoughts time for Agility, which is a lovely race game with a lot of interesting stuff going on. I mean, the core crux of the gameplay is all about these training cards you have in your hand and how you use them. Do you sacrifice the cubes you might need at any given time to be able to get a better action on the action board, or vice versa? Do you take an action that might not be less than useful to get the perfect cubes, to get the perfect adoption for the dog you need for the track that's still open? Are you going to race to try to move forward on the track and try to get that tiebreak token in case you need, oh, here's a tiebreak token. I couldn't find it in the extended. It was hidden under one of these exchanges. Or are you going to race to get all the adoptions in place? The more dogs you have on the trail, the more opportunity you have for synchronicity between the dogs and the action board, but that takes a lot of planning and a little bit of trickiness and the right number of cards at the right time, which means maybe you're sacrificing cubes. High number cards that give you a lot more movement, give you fewer cubes, low number cards with less. So there's a lot. Basically, the game is just full of trade-offs of, do I want to be better at this or this? And then on top of that, the dogs are awesome. I gotta say, I almost wish. I mean, these prototypes look so nice. These real pictures of dogs would be great. But the art I've seen looks actually really good too. So I cannot wait to see the final product. And again, you can go to the Kickstarter page and get a better idea of what all the art looks like instead of all this, relatively ugly prototype stuff I've got here. But this is from designer Brett Povis, who previously was the designer publisher of Morels, which you may recall I did a run through 4 years ago now. And Jen, I absolutely loved it. That's a fantastic, wonderful little couples only filler game about going for a walk in the woods and collecting and eating mushrooms, cooking them up, not funny mushrooms, but just normal mushrooms, I guess. And not that I'm an expert in that. That's off track. And so now, at long last, his sophomore effort, his second game comes out. And for us, there was actually a lot to love to because we thought Morels was so great. And I gotta say, this is a lovely game too. We really enjoy it. Now, full disclosure, Jen and I love dogs. We love dogs to death. We have been to Crufts. We have seen agility courses. Jen has thought in the past about maybe getting a hobby of training for this stuff herself, although didn't because she realized how much work it is. So we are naturally predisposed to love the theme, and we do love the theme, and it's really, really good. I mean, it is kind of a shame that all the training is just represented by all these cubes because, we're constantly reminding ourselves, okay, no, this is trust, this is love, this is speed, this is agility, because we do want to be thinking about, the reality of what these are. I mean, the color cubes do match. I mean, blue is jumping, and you need jumping cubes to be able to deal with the hurdle, jumping and power. You need trust and speed to be able to deal with the tunnels. So everything makes thematic sense, although, like I said, it is a bit of a shame. I mean, it'd be great if instead of, well, I don't know what they'd be, but if these were all cardboard shits instead of cubes that had, I don't know, what would they be? Like little pictures of art of dogs running fast and, cocking their head to look at you quizzically to prove that they trust you? I don't know. Maybe cubes are the best. I mean, certainly they work, but still. It's a minor complaint that, it is a bit of a it's easy to kind of forget the theme and just think about, oh, I'm just pushing cubes around. Collecting cubes and then spending cubes to buy things and to move forward on a track. But you really do have to put yourself, you do have to think about, no, these are the dogs I got, and they're adorable, and you want to train them so that they do really well because you know how much fun it'll be. And so Jen and I, we really get into it. And then actually, in terms of the strategy, it is an interesting game. I mean, because there are several different ways you could pursue excellence and advancement. But probably the biggest thing is trying to work out the timing so that you can synchronize what your guys are doing. If you can pull that off, it's going to be great. And try to minimize the number of bad actions you get because, this is the only action I can take because I need these cubes, and dang it, I can't just keep skipping actions. I need to get good actions. Now, speaking of action, it is interesting. I don't think Jen and I would ever play, but it is a very, very cool feature that you can shuffle these up, move these around, and add additional actions in, although they're all bad. Slip means you place an additional space on somebody else's track, so now that dog has to travel through one more space and has to spin, and it slows them down. Distraction is mean one too. Place a +1 marker on an opponent obstacle. So they thought they were going to get over there quick. Well, they're not now because it's going to cost them more to get over it. This is a minor thing, but it's still, why kick each other? Let's just try to be better ourselves. And then this is an interesting one. Rush. You place a rush marker. The opponent's dog must clear. Oh, wait, no, yeah, this is the meanest one. Oh, there's another one missing. It must still be in the box. So rush is the meanest one because you put it on a marker and your opponent can't do anything until they clear that particular obstacle. And if you put it on an obstacle that they don't have the cubes to do, that might really mess them up. And then the fourth one, and maybe there's a few more, but the one I thought that was actually really interesting is the notion that, well, basically you do, let's see, I can find it in the rules. Or maybe was it one of these? Because one of them, you end up giving your opponent a flex token. So it's kind of a benefit to them. Where was it? Oh, it's intimidation, right? Intimidation, the fourth one. By default in the game, everybody has a 3-hand limit. Every turn, you draw back up. Oh, shoot, I totally forgot. Paulo, I forgot. At one point, when Jen got past her pause box, Jen is the only one who's gotten past a pause box. I think it happened in the extended. Whenever you clear a pause box, you get to immediately do another mini turn where you can play another card and get cubes and do another action on the action track. I totally forgot that. Jen has an extra action she gets to do. That's actually important too because it's all about managing those pause boxes, being ready for them so you get past them. And when you do hit a pause box and you get to play another card immediately, you better time it right so that the card you have in your hand is going to be a good card to play because it's terrible to get a free card play and then it's a crappy card because of the situation you're in. So that's actually another really cool thing too. But anyway, so normally the intimidation option is you normally have a hand size of 3, but if you intimidate your opponent, you can knock them down to a hand size of 2, but they do get a flex token back. But then in the future, if they land on it, they can intimidate you back, get their hand size back up, knock you down, and you get a flex token. So that's actually a really interesting one as well, because often 2 cards is enough. It's not really quite that bad. So anyway, it's cool that there are all these different variations you can do and really mix up the action board. Of course, every time you play, you're going to get a different collection of dogs that come out, different collection of cards, different collection of agility courses, because these are all 2-sided. So you're going to get a lot of replayability and I think a lot of fun. And like I said, maybe it's just because Jen and I enjoy the theme, but I mean, we definitely think, can't wait to get the real thing. It's a lovely game, really captures the theme well, really comes alive with the exception of those cubes, and Jen and I enjoyed it quite a bit. And that's it, folks. That is agility. Questions, comments, concerns, as always, let me know. Apologies for any mistakes, like forgetting to give Jen that bonus turn off the pause box. But hopefully you have a pretty good idea of what the game is all about, and you can go check out the Kickstarter and see if it's right for you, something you would want to back. And other than that, I'm just going to say thank you very much for watching, everybody. Hope you have a very, very nice day. Talk to you later. So long. Bye-bye.